Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. Today, Nation, we got a very special guest in the house. It is week 2 versus the Minnesota Vikings, so I had to go get one of the best Vikings content creators out there. We got Jade in the house with
Hey.
Sports and Stars. How you doing today, Jade?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to talk Eagles, Vikings, Monday Night Football. Yeah, I'm excited. Hey, everybody in the chat, too.
Yes. So, week 2's coming up. Monday Night Football, 1-1. You guys got a old Eagle on your team here now. We got Jalen Reagor over there. First off, give me your take on how was your reaction on getting Jalen Reagor?
I was actually kind of surprised by it, to be honest. I feel like it kind of just came out of nowhere. But we needed help with special teams, punt returning, kick returning. So hopefully he's going to come in clutch there. But I was happy about it. And then, too, it's just kind of funny because him and Justin Jefferson, they got drafted. I think only, what was it, a couple picks away.
A mistake
now they're playing together.
Made.
Yeah.
We let you guys have Justin Jefferson and we picked Jalen Reagor. It's crazy.
And now we got both.
Now you guys got both of them,
Yeah.
So you guys got 2 first rounders over there. So did he do anything last week? I think I heard that he was doing punt return.
Yeah, I think he's just doing the returns right now. So pretty quiet, to be honest. Like, it was like all Justin Jefferson show, pretty much.
That guy is a beast, a straight beast. And I'm the LSU boys. I have to be the first to admit. Chase and Jefferson both. I wasn't the biggest fans of either one of them,
Yeah.
Like, whatever, LSU, they ain't all right. I'm like, Chase was the best receiver. He was hurt, so of course Jefferson's gonna get some numbers. He's not that good, but both of these guys just came in the league, lit it on fire, man. Lit it straight on fire. And
Jamar Chase is amazing too. Yeah, really great.
That's crazy. So Jefferson had what, 148 last week?
Man, I didn't write it down, but yeah, it was something like that.
Big game. Big game.
Yeah.
And how is that over there? Thielen's still there. So you got Thielen, Osborne, Jefferson, and now Reagor. Hopefully Reagor can rejuvenate his career and help out over there. But we got some good guys over here ourselves. We got AJ Brown, who had, the best, debut game by Eagle receiver ever, 155.
Really?
So he came to the Eagles and he said, hey, he left Tennessee talking about, I'm the best receiver you guys ever had. Leave me alone. And he came straight to Philly like, hey, what's your record for the best debut ever? Here it is. Boom.
Nice.
It's me now. So we both teams have high caliber receivers that play at elite levels, which is good for just for the whole game itself. So what are some of the things you worry about, going into this matchup?
Honestly, your all's stadium, the atmosphere. I mean, people talk big about like Minnesota. Hey, Miss BIRDGANG too. Just want to say hey to her. Yeah, so I think playing actually in the Philadelphia environment, we don't have very good history there, So just how electric the fans are and kind of wild everybody can get, I think it's going to be even more pressure on the purple. And I think that'll be big. And obviously, too, Jaylen Hurts. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see what's happening. And for the Vikings, our defense, our secondary is an issue. It's been a little bit of an issue. So watching that with your wide receiver core, that'll be interesting, too.
Yeah, you guys played the Packers first game, right? Those Packers last week? Yeah, man. Yep. That's great. You guys destroyed them too. It's like you see your game. It's like that's where we're gonna start out here. Like you guys are riding high for 1-0 against the Packers.
Yep.
Everybody knows the Packers are a playoff team. Yep. Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT over there doing his thing. So it's like when they see your win, they're like, "Oh, that's a serviceable win." They see our win. You guys barely beat the Lions. You know what I'm saying?
I think the Lions are the sleepers, though, and you all had some points. I mean, because wasn't the game 38-35, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the Vikings, for example, we beat the Packers. I like to call them the evil to the East, but it was only 23-7. I was a little disappointed that they didn't score more points, actually, especially in the second half. They kind of seemed to, they were still going for it, but like pile on some more points. So
yeah, how do you feel about that? Because our coach even came out and said that, in the third quarter, he kind of took his foot off the gas. Like, I don't understand if you're trying to win football games and this is the NFL. Teams scored like 3 touchdowns in like 1 minute of airtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's been done before. Why
Yep.
these coaches even think they can even feel confident enough? And why
I don't
not
know.
keep it going? Like I can understand when you're like 50-7 or something like that. Then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, let's not rub it in too hard. But like until you get to that big wide margin where there's no point of no return, I think every coach should just keep their foot on the gas pedal.
Totally. Just
All
keep it
gas, no
going.
brakes.
Yep, keep it going. And like, okay, maybe you're tired, but isn't that what you're training all off season? And like, that's your job to play four solid quarters. Maybe I'm getting a little nitpicky, but I wanted them to keep piling on the points.
How does your team handle it, Austin? Did you guys play your starters in the preseason?
No, like nobody really. I think one person, Ed Ingram, who's a rookie, he's starting on our offensive line now as right guard. He played in the preseason, but pretty much everyone else was nope, not in. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question from Grant. He says,
"Oh, what's up, Grandizer?"
To get to know Jade, he said, "How did you become a Vikings fan? Who is her all-time favorite Vikings player on offense and defense? How many Vikings jerseys do you own?"
Ooh, all right. Grandizer always has a good question.
I always have the questions, man.
I know.
Locked in.
Thanks, Grandizer. Appreciate you. I came out of the womb purple. Been a fan my whole entire life.
From Minnesota?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So from here, I mean, you kind of just have to be, I feel like, too. I mean, you don't have to be, but yeah, being from here. And then I would say after, like, I'm a fan, of course, my whole entire life, but I really started to get like, I'm going to look even deeper into the team actually after the 2018 season, after the loss to the Eagles. That's when I kind of really started to go a little deeper. That's when the channel kind of happened. And then my all-time favorite Vikings offensive player, no shock, Randy Moss. It's kind of hard to see the mooning tee, but I got the mooning tee. And defensive player, probably, man, that's a toughie. Probably like Jared Allen.
Ooh. Yeah. That's a nice one. That's a nice one right there.
And then, how many Vikings jerseys do I own? Oddly enough, I'm actually only down to one right now. What? Crazy. But I had like, speaking of Jared Allen, I had like 2 Jared Allen jerseys. I had 2 Adrian Peterson jerseys. And I don't know where they went. Like throughout the years, I have no idea where they are. No clue. But I'm down to one. It's my Randy Moss jersey that I've had since like, I think it was my first jersey of all time. I got it when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get it. I liked you wearing it. I definitely put it on thumbnail. Look at that. Oh, you can't even see it, can you?
Oh, yeah. It's there, though.
Let me see. Let me see if I can take it off the scene. We can put it on here.
Yeah.
Boom. Yep. There it is. See the 84. She in the middle of action right there.
Yep.
With her 84 on. Man, that's crazy. It's awesome, though. Yeah. So were you always just a football fan in general? Like, you know how some girls are like, I'm a fan of this team because they like to dress up in the colors. They like to do their little makeup. They like to, or are you actually like a fan, like football fan in general?
Yeah. Like I've always been just a sports fanatic my whole entire life. I mean, I grew up watching sports, playing sports. I remember asking how to pronounce Brett Favre's name. Like, I remember, how do you say that? How do you say that name? Yeah, Favre. So I always just loved it. Favre. And of course, growing up, he was like the arch nemesis. Like, so when he came to the Vikings, that was hard for me. But yeah, pretty much my whole life. I just really like sports. Like I said, I grew up playing them. And I just honestly, I like watching. The Timberwolves used to be my main jam. It was always like Timberwolves and Vikings, but
Garnett.
Oh yes. The glory days. So yeah.
Nice. I guess you really didn't have no option to be another state's football teams. You come from Minnesota, you're in the state, it's thrown on you. I'm from California, but I am an Eagles fan. I've always been an Eagles fan since I started liking pro football.
There you go.
I didn't like pro football till a little later in my ages, as opposed to like, I watched football from the beginning. Yeah. I didn't really become a pro football fan until I was like, 15, 16 years old, you know what I'm saying? Right like around that age. So it's just like, I watched the Randall Cunningham game, and from that point on, the way the defense played, the way Randall played, I was like, okay, I can mess with this team. And my dad showed me, I was like, all right, I can mess with the Eagles. And trust me,
I was just going to ask, what brought you to the Eagles, being from California?
Being an Eagles fan in California was hard growing up. All your friends are Raider fans.
Right.
Niner fans, our Charger fans, and even Cowgirl fans. They like all those teams, and every year they're like laughing at you. Ha ha, you're Eagles fan. We got Super Bowl rings and all this. It took till I was an adult before I see my team win one of these. You know what I'm saying? So
there you go.
It was a while. It was a while, but I was a dedicated Eagles fan. We always still bring the passion. We still bring the heat on defense. We still did our thing.
Very passionate fan base, I will say. I've heard some stories though about going to the stadium as a opponent. It's like I have heard to not for Vikings fans, don't wear purple, don't wear your jersey, just don't say anything.
That they said it. Like, listen, I've been to 7 Eagle games, but none of them were at home. Like, because living in California, they play all those teams all the time, so you're like always seeing the Eagles play. Like, I was there the game Nick Foles threw the 7 touchdowns. Sitting next to Nick's parents. It was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I got some nice moments with Deshaun Jackson's parents and Deshaun Jackson himself. But I was never in the link. But I do remember. One year, me and my friends from football players, I played football. A couple of us went to the Raiders Chargers game, and they're just like, hey guys, if you're going to Oakland, do not wear another team's jersey. And it was true. Like, they were stabbing people, they were going crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in a car and it wasn't Oakland, you're shaking your freaking car. We were in a big old Suburban, they had that thing rocking, like, hey, get out the van, watch out.
Yeah.
Like, fans are very passionate and they get kind of crazy at points. But I still like, my goal is this year to go hit a home game up this year. Now I live a lot closer than California. If California would have been such a distant dream, you know what I'm saying? But when you live over here, and I live in Bama now, it's not that far away. It's not that far away. So my goal is to get there a couple of times this year.
That'd be cool.
What were some of the best moments of your week 1 win? Like, you can probably say the Justin Jefferson thing because he's a beast.
Yeah, I think.
Give me something else that maybe the average fan wouldn't know about or see.
Sure. I think one thing that was kind of talked about and then it kind of lost some steam was Zadarius Smith. He's now a Viking, former Green Bay Packer, and now facing his former team. And he was very, very vocal about they didn't respect me. I'm ready to go at it. And there were a couple of times, one in particular, where he got to he who shall not be named, Danica Patrick's ex-boyfriend, the Green Bay Packers quarterback, who I refuse to say by name because I can't stand him. Appreciate him as a player, but I can't stand him. So that was really impressive. I like the defensive performance, Danielle Hunter being back. And then I think overall, too, getting a win for our new head coach, Kevin O'Connell, first game as a head coach and first game calling plays. So getting that win, that was nice. So I think just overall team victory, and especially versus divisionary rival, week 1 at home. So starting off good, starting off solid. The Vikings, they need so much momentum just all the time. I mean, all sports teams do, but I think it was very important, especially going into Philadelphia. Monday Night Football, week 2.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What was your expectations for last year? Did they meet your expectations? And then going into this year, I know you're 1-0, but what are kind of your expectations? So
last year, I think I had them going. I think I picked them roughly where they ended. I think they ended, 8-9. And I have them going 9-8 this year. I wasn't surprised, to be honest. As a Vikings fan, I say I live in the realistic realm with the purple. I want them to win, but I'm going to call it how I see it. I need receipts. I need to see the win.
You need receipts.
Yes, I need the receipts. I need to see it. So I have them going 9-8 this year. I actually have them losing week 2 versus the Eagles. So I think it's going to be a tough one. But I always say this, prove me wrong, because I would love to be wrong in that instance.
Hey, there's Eagle fans that think we're losing week 2 against you guys. So don't feel bad.
Hey,
don't feel bad. I was on the show yesterday and one of my co-hosts was like, we did our little prediction at the end. He had something out there, and I understand where he was going with it. Like, you guys are a great team, but once the season starts, I'll give you my record prediction in the beginning of the season, right before the season starts, but that's my record prediction. That's me being real with you, After the season, that first kickoff, man, it is 17-0 until proven otherwise, baby. Yeah. Every single week, we winning, baby.
Yeah,
win. And it's her season. It's the Philadelphia Eagles season to lose.
There we go.
So, I'm always going for our team every week, regardless. So who we're playing, but at the same time, like you guys are definitely going to be a tough challenge moving forward. Definitely tougher than a team like the Lions, even though they upgraded this year.
They did.
I think the Lions are going to shock a lot of teams this year.
I agree with you.
Throwing that out there, but it shouldn't have been us. They shouldn't have been that close this first week. You know what I'm saying?
Richie, I want to just shout out to Richie. A-Rod, on the decline. I don't know what's going on there with the Timberwolves, too. With Alex Rodriguez trying to garner some money, just a little bit off topic. But,
Right.
Shout out there.
What up, Coach Dante? Thanks for stopping by, my guy. So, what was the worst part of last week for you? Like, what do you say would be your biggest concern moving forward?
I would say, shout out to Valerie. Hey, Valerie, my girl there. Thanks for joining. I would say, it actually worked out for the Vikings. They kind of lucked out, but I was mentioning this earlier, the secondary being an issue for the Vikings. It's been a problem for a while. And Christian Watson, I think was his name, for the Packers, dropping that pass, and he got burned. Patrick Peterson where were you, dude? Where were you? You were behind him. So we got left out there. So I think that's still concerning. And the fact that, the Vikings, they came out and said, we just kept the offense going. We just kept it going, like foot on the gas, like we were talking about earlier. But it's like, okay, that's fine and dandy, but 23 points, you couldn't get to 30. Like the second half, it just seemed like they were kind of coasting. So they can't do that. You got to finish the game on a high note.
Yeah. Cook, you got Cook, Thielen, and Jefferson, right, as your big three. You know what I'm saying? Which one of those guys do you think will be the most important to have a big game against the Eagles?
You said Cook, Jefferson, and Thielen?
Yeah.
Our running back, that's the one place where running backs where we actually have depth. So I would say Adam Thielen, to be honest. He's still pretty solid. But one thing, Adam Thielen's a little older, air quotes there, obviously, because he's not old.
Not that old, but
not old. But by like wide receiver standards, he's old. So I think keeping him in the mix, and I think they're going to go to him more because obviously everybody knows they're going to try to go to Jefferson. So I think Thielen staying on top of his game, and Thielen can get a little crybaby-ish. He can whine a little bit. Yeah. Oh, I'm not getting the call. Oh, you're not throwing to me. It's like, dude, just kind of shut up about it. Just put your money where your mouth is. He's a good player. So just let that do the talking for you.
He was a star there before, Jefferson got there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you guys got rid of Diggs. That's why you guys got Jefferson.
Oh, right? Man,
you guys don't miss, that's another heartbreaker right there. Do you guys miss Diggs at all? He is still one of the best receivers in the league.
So
like, what happened with that situation? Like, was it just a situation they tried to go cheaper? They knew that the receiving core, the receiving crop coming out was going to be that good that they didn't want to pay him, or what's going on? Because he is still legit.
Yeah.
Pretty legit.
I mean, this is just my own personal opinion and kind of what was happening during that time. Stefon Diggs was very vocal at the end, right before he got, traded. They brought him, or they traded him to Buffalo. And to be honest, in my personal opinion, I think he was just over Kirk Cousins. He knew Kirk's ceiling and saw it, and he wanted to go somewhere where they could actually win the big game. I think Kirk is a huge roadblock for the Vikings, and I have said this from day one, and I will continue to say it again. I do not ever believe the Vikings are going to win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins under center. Prove me wrong. That would be great. Prove me wrong.
Ooh, hot take right there.
Oh, yeah.
No Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. He's not the guy.
Yeah.
Even though the big numbers he put up, he's not the guy.
Yeah. Because we've had, how many years is Kirk? And the thing, I mean, I won't go on a Kirk tangent because I can't.
Do it. Platform's yours. Do it.
Okay. Kirk only cares about his own stats in his own pocketbook. That's all he cares about. He got signed by the Vikings not once for the big money, but twice. And when he was originally brought on, he was the only missing piece on this team. What the hell has this team done since? What have they done since? One game, the playoffs? Okay, good job. And now, ever since then, what have the team had to do? They've had to tailor, soldier spy, the entire roster to make sure that Kirk is comfortable. So I say that 2022 is also, Kirk, are you comfy? Are you comfortable, Kirk? because that's what we got to do. We got to, like, protect Kirk at all costs. So he plays at like the highest capacity. It's just like, dude, I'm not buying it. And one thing too that really just like, I can't stand that attitude. This year when Kellen Mond was still on the team, Sean Mannion, they were still quarterbacks. Kellen Mond came off the field. Sean Mannion, Kirk Cousins talking like quarterbacks do, right? Kellen Mond comes off the field. Where was Kirk Cousins? Where was Sean Mannion? Kirk, where were you? So he does not care about anybody else. He's just selfish, in my opinion.
Yeah, we just picked up Kellen Mond.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I think we did pick up Kellen Mond, man. And I liked Mond in college. Like, he was only a rookie. He's like, well, I wonder why they let him go. Was he not playing good in the preseason or something with you guys? Or
well, and with Kellen Mond too, he kind of got a rough start because when Mike Zimmer was still the coach, he pretty much the reporters asked him about Kellen Mond when he was a rookie, like, hey, are we going to get to see him? Are you going to play him? And Mike Zimmer's like, I've seen him. I've seen enough.
I've seen him.
Yeah. So I think that just kind of dampened that, year one. And then now when he was playing in the preseason, I was rooting for him, but he had a few mistakes, interceptions. I think there's still more to come there, but I think the team also got rid of him because he was like Rick Spielman's pick, and Rick Spielman's not with the Vikings anymore. So our old general manager. So I think, they got rid of him and didn't really see him as a viable backup either, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's still early in the process. So he's probably going to float around a little bit before he actually locks onto a team there. Maybe like the Colt McCoys of the world, that type of situation I see happening with him. But
yeah, I see a Case Keenum mentioned in the chat too.
Case Keenum,
miss you, man.
Do you like Kirk more than Case?
No, no.
Case is better than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Case Keenum, miss you, dude. That's why the Bills Mafia are actually my number 2 favorite after the purple, just because of Stefon Diggs and they got Case Keenum. And watch, those two are gonna go win a Super Bowl with them.
Oh wow, putting it on your team there. I like it. I like it. Those are the true fans, to keep it real.
Like if Kirk actually and Case could be morphed together as one, I think that would be quarterback. Yeah, because Case has got the moxie, got the personality, like a leader, and you can't really teach that. And Kirk is missing that. He's missing that element. Statistically great, can be very accurate. Just not, you can't teach that. You can't teach that.
I vibe on Kurt is like he shuts down in big games, man. Like, he's not a closer.
No.
He's like a regular season quarterback. Yep. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put some numbers up, but it's because of the talent really around him, why he put up those numbers. In terms of like being a gamer, man.
Yep. When the pressure's on, he falters. But I will say that was one thing too that I was impressed with Kirk, specifically week 1. Because he got to be comfortable, right? He's got to be comfy to throw that ball. He seems to be more comfortable throwing to Justin Jefferson, even when, it could potentially be picked off. Because that's another thing with Kirk. Like, well, I don't want to throw it if it's going to be picked. It might be picked off. I can't do it. So I was happy with that.
Nice. Dalvin Cook, man. Great running back in the league. I think he got into a little bit of trouble, right?
He did.
He got a little bit of trouble. Were you worried at all he wasn't going to be playing?
I'm surprised and like not surprised that we haven't really heard anything more from that. Okay. I hope everybody, everything got squared away. I don't really even know what ended there. It was something I believe with an ex-girlfriend of his a little bit there. Dalvin Cook, great running back, but hot take, Alexander Mattison, just as good.
Whoa!
Alexander Mattison.
Wait. Time out. She just busted it out. It was like hot take. Keep rolling. No, whoa, you gotta slow down on that hot take. You gotta explain yourself. You saying Alexander Madison's just as good as Dalvin Cook?
Oh, he is. He is, and he has been. He always has been. Well, okay, maybe Dalvin's like a little bit better, but I will say though, when Dalvin Cook just has an issue staying healthy, and I kind of said that I wish the Vikings actually would have traded him like last year, maybe 2 years ago when he was like at the peak. He's still good. Don't get me wrong. And he had some great runs. He can bust through, powerful player. But when Dalvin Cook went out last year, I think he was out 2 games, Alexander Mattison stepped in. We didn't lose either of those games. So,
but do you think he's one of those players that's good enough? Like, there's always role player guys, like if you're talking about 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
period of time. It's like even for instance, Nick Foles for the Eagles. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, he started, he was good, but after he stopped starting for us, like he kept coming back as backups. Where like for 2 or 3 games, Nick
Mm-hmm.
got you. But a season long, you see after he's left, he's gotten contract after contract, to
Yeah.
be the starter, and he just can't do it for a
Right.
16, 17 game period of
Yeah.
time. You think Madison one of those guys where it's like, oh, if you guys were to lose him, say, he got traded to the Eagles or,
Oh,
another team that
I'd be
runs or
bummed.
something like that,
Yeah.
do you think he'll still be an elite back, or do you think,
I think
he was
so.
just be like, oh, he's on the Vikings no more, so he's not very good.
Yeah, there were actually a couple of weeks ago, I think it was like a week, maybe 2 weeks before the regular season. Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. There was like some steam about Alexander Madison getting traded, and I think he would be a viable starter. I don't remember the teams that were mentioned. I want to say Cleveland, but that could just be completely like out of nowhere. But there was some heavy steam about Alexander Madison getting traded, and I think he could be a viable starter for another team in the league for sure. And I think
Nice.
the Vikings have depth at running back. We have Kene Nwangwu too. He's really good as
Mhm.
well. And what's his name? Ty Chandler. Is that our other running back? Can't remember, but yeah. I'd be bummed if he left.
How'd you like you guys' draft?
Oh man. I always preface with this too. I am not a huge draft aficionado. I've never really gotten into college sports. I always say maybe this year's the year I'm going to get into it because that's where the NFL players come from.
You don't like Minnesota?
Oh, the Gophers?
College.
Yeah.
I
I got to support them. I support them. Yeah, the rowing the boat with PJ Fleck, that whole thing that they got going there.
Right.
Yeah. No, I support, but I never really gotten into it. But I think it's panning out pretty well. Ed Ingram, rookie, right guard, starting at right guard now. It's only been 1 game, but so far so good. And our offensive line has needed help for a long time. So huzzah to that. So, but it is kind of disappointing that we haven't seen Lewis Cine. So he was out. I wonder if he's going to be in for Philadelphia. I should check on that. I was actually looking at that earlier, but so we haven't seen him yet.
I'll get the check out on there. Hey, shout out to 25 being here. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe to Sports and Stars with Jade. Great Minnesota content creator over there. She is on the road to 1K. She is almost there. Be the one to help her get there. You know what I'm saying? Help push her content out to more people. Richie says, Vikings DNs, are they good or are they just average?
Oh, I think they're good. I think they're good.
Good. Think they're good?
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys re-sign Everson Griffin?
Oh, well, yeah, Everson Griffin. I wish they would have. I think it seems like he's just probably like on to the next phase of his life, I think. I've always been a fan of Everson Griffin, though. I still think if they brought him back, he would be a beast. And I think he was a really crucial person in the locker room, too. But our defensive ends, we like it. We like to see it, especially Danielle Hunter being back after being injured as well. So, yeah, they're good. So far, so good. The defense looked pretty solid. And I will say that I was impressed with the defense holding the Green Bay Packers to 7 points. But I will just remind everybody that the Packers pretty much had like nobody in besides their quarterback and like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. So
I know you're not a Packers fan, but how do you feel about the Packers? I know they're in the division, but I think when you get rid of some of the players they got rid of this offseason, how do you expect these guys to be good? A lot of people think, oh, the Packers, they're gonna be fine without Devontae Adams and some of these other key pieces they lost. I'm like, no. You don't replace a Devontae Adams. You don't replace a Campbell. You don't replace some of these people you just let walk out the building. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is a little selfish in that matter where, not really because this is like his last real big paycheck. So he's like, I'm going to take all of it. It's my last real big one. I'm going to take it all. When he could have just took a little less and kept his boy there and he kept everybody happy, kept the team together and be really a threat. I think he just realized this is my last go round. If I can get the most money I could possibly get, I'm gonna go ahead and get the bag before I step off the field. Because he's already been MVP twice or 3 times even.
Exactly.
And he's already won a Super Bowl, so he's like, hey, I'm good. Now it's time to get that check. But
I think that's actually a really good point. that you make. Yeah. And I think it's funny too, because I'm sure you've talked or you've heard him talk about, the ayahuasca journey, the shedding the ego and all that stuff. It's like the ego still seems to be there, very ever present. So not really sure what's going on there. And good point too about him not taking less money, because that was another thing that I had a problem with Kirk not doing. And he eventually did restructure. But I just go back to Tom Brady. He took less money so he could have a better team. And so what happened there?
How do you feel about Tom? That's exactly what I feel about. I feel like Tom is a very smart businessman.
Yeah.
That's why he's one of the best. I don't think he's anywhere close, like talent-wise, to being the best quarterback. But I do think he's one of the best. He was smart enough to know, I can get top 10 money. I don't need to be number one. And that top 10 money is going to keep players on my roster to keep me winning Super Bowls. And then they
follow him.
Yeah, then they follow him. Yeah, like when they went to Tampa Bay, everybody's like, "Oh, see, Tom Brady was a whole new team. He's better than Belichick." I'm like, no. When he went to Tampa Bay, they loaded that team up pretty good, because they had money to do it. So that's another reason why he was on a great team. Because for me, it's only about team. I don't care how good of a quarterback. Like Aaron Rodgers, GOAT. He's only got one Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say too much because the Vikings don't have one yet. But yeah, he only got one, and. Yeah, I think honestly, all he ever does is whine, doesn't take accountability, for when things don't go wrong. It's like, homie, yeah, you're a good player, but sometimes you're not exactly perfect, and just the attitude on the sideline. And then too, when the rookie Watson dropped that pass, I don't think they looked to him again. So it's just like, okay, that's not really a way to build a relationship with your wide receivers, in my opinion. But if you don't care, kind of like
I like that.
Kind of made mention of, but anyway.
Frank got another good question. He says 3 keys to win the game versus the Eagles. What are 3 keys to win the game versus the Vikings? So you can go ahead and go first with 3 of them, and I'll go with 3 keys versus the Vikings right after.
Okay. I think one of them that's going to be really important is Kirk staying focused, Kirk staying comfy. Don't let the pressure get to you. The fans, I think that he can be swayed very easily. The pressure can be on, and the Eagles fans, it's a tough environment to play in. And Kirk is so crucial, especially quarterback, getting Justin Jefferson that ball, and just going on there. I think Justin Jefferson, obviously, you're going to have another option, right? Because we all know that he's probably going to be double covered. So kind of like we were mentioning earlier, Adam Thielen, let's be on your game. KJ Osborne, let's see you in the mix here too. And just to continue with the offense, I know I'm kind of going everywhere, not exactly 3 things, but keep the momentum going the whole entire time. And I think special teams are also going to be really important. They've been our special teams have been like our kicker, punter. We switch punters at the beginning of the season. Been amazing. So getting good field position, vice versa. I think that's also important. But I think I will go and reference back to just playing in Philadelphia, playing against your team. It's going to be tough. Jaylen Hurts, you coming off that big win versus the Lions. And Monday night, prime time, that doesn't necessarily always bode well for the Vikings and for Kirk. So they gotta show up with their big boy pants on.
Yeah, I like those announcements. That is true. Kirk does kind of fold a little bit in the primetime spotlight. But like I said, nonetheless, the team is just amazing. Like you guys got some beasts over there. I'll say 3 keys to the Eagles winning this game is, we need no turnovers again. Jalen Hurts didn't have any turnovers. We didn't have any turnovers this year. This last game. And, our defense got 1 turnover. And if you look at it, that's like the key to the game why we won. Because yes, we were up 21-7 at one point, but they came back too.
What happened? What was it?
Our defense he said he just let the foot off the gas. He was blitzing, he was doing things we liked. He kind of let it foot off the gas. People were missing tackles and whatnot. For me, I think it's more of the lack of preseason activities.
Yeah.
When you're not tackling and stuff in preseason, you don't got your starters out there no more. We had a good pattern before. First game you see a drive or 2. Next game, you see a quarter. Next game, you see like 3 quarters. And then the 4th game, you wouldn't see any starters. But they've gotten a chance to get hit. You gotten a chance to play like game-like activities, on the field. And now it's like, you have these joint practices. They claim better. like real life situation, but they're not.
Yep.
It's not. It's still practice.
Right.
And I think that the lack of it all the time, the NFL's gonna have to worry about this going into week one. Look how many people got hurt week one again. Stars went down in week one again. That's why it's like you might have to start playing these guys early because you got to build that callus on you. You got to build that football body. You got to get in football shape. And not just about cardio wise. You got to be football. So you got to take that hit, take a couple of good hits.
Yeah, it's like shaking the rust off. And I think we saw it like all across the board too. Yeah. I mean, like what was it? Who did the Rams play on? The Rams. I would say there was a lot of rust going on there.
Yes.
Yeah, especially.
And I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan. Hurts season all day. I love him. He's my favorite quarterback. I think he's going to be in the MVP candidacy race this year.
There you
go.
But
to have Jalen Hurts be the number one passer, or pass the line of scrimmage in week one.
Wow,
saying something to you,
Yeah,
I hope it's a good thing. I appreciate it. And I'm like, yeah, Jalen, good job, but I do know there's a lot of good passers out there, and it shows like the difference there.
You don't have your MVP chant going for him just yet after week one.
Oh yeah, I still do. It started before. It started 3 months ago. I was like, MVP Jalen Hurts.
There you go.
Mrs. BIRDGANG got me a Hurts season hat. I'll be wearing in my live streams. I'm like, let's go Hurts season. Let's get it.
Go.
And number 2 is establishing the run game again. Miles Sanders is kind of like Cooks. I love him. I think he can be a top 5 back if he really put his stuff together. But the problem is he's hurt all the time. He's in and out of the lineups. There's no consistency. I won't blame it all on him because we were not using our running backs in the right form.
I think that's just a running back thing too.
Yeah.
It's just like you're
taking them pounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if he can stay consistent, like last week he had 13 carries, 96 yards and a touchdown. That's what I like to see. Amounts in that 15 to 25 range of touches. If we keep him in that, he's gonna have explosive plays. He's an explosive bat. He's not no bell cow. We're gonna be able to do a Derrick Henry, like give it to him 30, 40 times a game because there's no other Derrick Henry out there.
Bulldozing it. Yeah.
And we got some good backups. And, Gainwell's looking good, off the bench. Boston Scott's been consistent over the last couple of years. But I think this is a year that Miles takes over. It's a contract year. I want to see him get an extension with the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to see him do his things. And after week one, hopefully he continue this so he can continue to shed the fans up that don't agree with it. That think, we need to get rid of Miles. He doesn't need to be here no more. He's too injury prone. I'm a huge Miles Sanders fan, and I want the best for him. And I want him to be in Eagle Green for the next, until he retires. So, I'm one of them fans. I want to keep the stars as long as possible. I don't want to see that day where it's like, when Chip Kelly came to the Eagles and just traded off Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, McCoy, and it's like, what are you doing? That's the whole team. That's the whole team. What are you doing? So, I want to establish the run. I think we did a good job starting with it early. Because then you don't have to. People don't realize you start off with that run. That's opening up the pass. Like I'm not really disappointed with our offense that first game. 38 points.
That's a lot of points.
Really scored 31 points because the defense scored a touchdown. We had a pick 6, but
that
31 points is still pretty good for week one. I think they kind of did their thing.
That's a lot. I wish I was nitpicking. I wish the purple would have gotten to at least 30. They could have, but putting up the points.
And then the third thing I would just say is, defense just got to get better at tackling. Like I said, it was the rust from not tackling preseason. They were just missing tackles. A lot of times we could have been off third down, missed tackle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the biggest Gannon fan. I think he got the pieces to be great, but I still have to see it happen. You know what I'm saying? He did come from you guys in Minnesota, the scheme from Minnesota. And like I said, like he come from Minnesota where, when he was there, you guys had Barr, Kendricks, and a whole on another linebacker. I forgot his name offhand right now. But they were all studs, you know what I'm saying? Like they were star linebackers. You still have Al Harris and not Al Harris, Rodney Harris. No, Al Harris, right?
Al Harris?
Anthony Harris. I got my players. Anthony Harris.
Yeah.
You guys still had Anthony Harris and Smith as your safeties. And then Patrick
Anthony Harris.
Yeah, and you had your little, your cornerback to what I see. That defense was like stacked and ready to roll. That's why that whole zone defense worked out where you can play a little off because they were really physical. They were really doing their thing there. And last year we didn't have the talent. Straight up. Like we didn't. Our linebackers sucked.
Yeah.
TJ Edwards is cool, When you put TJ Edwards against the rest of the linebackers in the league, he's not a star linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
at him being our best linebacker, I knew we had to go out this year and go grab some new linebackers. I love what they did by getting Dean. You know what I'm saying? We got Kaiser White, we got Reddick. You know what I'm saying? These are some dogs out there that can play football
Yeah.
at a very high level. And I think that's the hugest difference. Having a secondary, getting Bradbury, who had his first pick six ever last week,
Hey, there you go.
to show that, hey, he is still a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback. Big Play
Yeah.
Slay had his best year last year. Maddox should have been in the Pro Bowl as a slot corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have the pieces now
Yep.
that I think that he has no excuse of not being good. And week one was definitely disappointing to me. I thought the Eagles would win like 31, 14,
Yeah.
week one or somewhere around that.
What do you have your team going this year? What do you have their record?
I started off the offseason 13-4. After all
Okay.
the trades, all the move, I went to 14-3. And it's more just because of the schedule.
Yeah.
A lot of teams that didn't play that good last year. We don't
Yeah.
play any elite quarterbacks, no Rodgers, no Brady, no Mahomes,
Fair enough.
none of the really elite guys that you gotta really oh, we gotta have our best A1 game. I feel like the whole schedule, we can beat every team. Like every game on there, especially with Dallas, Dak resting,
Yeah.
he'll well, whatever you want to say. Try to be nice to you. Dak Prescott, you know what I'm saying? Like he's
Dak,
out for the
poor Dak,
Cowgirls.
yeah.
He's out for the Cowgirls, so that even makes it that much more easier for us,
Yep.
moving through our division. So
you got him
it's
going 14-3.
I say the floor 12-5. Cause I just
Woo!
imagine we have like what 8 new starters, that play at a high level. I can imagine being only a 10-win team after like going 9-7 with a subpar team, new coaches staff,
Yeah.
new offensive scheme, new quarterback, new everything. Your
Yep.
star receivers are rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like you got all this working against you. You still go 9-7 and make it to the playoffs. 12-4, 12-5 is the floor for me. And I think, 14-3, 13-4, 14-3 is the realistic, way.
Right. We gotta watch out for the Eagles flying in this year.
Oh yeah, I got us winning another one of these this year. I think this is the season to do it. But we gotta let the season play out. I can be a lot optimistic, but we gotta let the season play out. But and I think
one
like
game, it's been 1 week.
Ceiling is 17-0. I really think it's possible. If any year possible, it's this year. Like if for anybody, you got to hit luck. You got to stay healthy and you got to play at a high level. But to lose, I think winning the Lions the way we did last week, where it wasn't no big blowout. Because last year we started out with Atlanta Falcons, right? And they were kind of the bottom of the barrel team. We came out and destroyed them. Right off the jump, and then everybody was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be great."
Oh, here we go.
Then we lost some games in a row, and it's like, "Whoa, what happened?" You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a good game to be like a win. Like you got off with a win, you got lucky, you got the win because your team is just talented and probably a little bit more talented than Lions team. But to keep going with
the Lions beat the Vikings last year. If I need to remind everybody of that,
they did, huh?
They got their first win versus the Vikings. And I was like, I said it for a couple weeks. I was like, I have a feeling the Lions are going to get their first win versus the Vikings. And then at the end of the game, Jared Goff, I forget who it was, but they got the win at the end.
Yeah. That would suck, though, to be the first team to win. Man, really? You getting lost another week till next week? Please, come on now. But that's football, man. People don't realize.
It really
doesn't matter your records.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah, it doesn't matter your records. Doesn't matter what's going on. Like any given Sunday, a team can win or lose, and I love that about football.
I was just gonna say that too. That's what makes it great. That's what makes it super fun. So
55 away, and I know you guys are in here. We can help her out there. Go get her there. 55 away from 1K. She needs to get there. I can tell you. I know. We got a couple more accounts that we're gonna go, kid accounts that we're gonna go ahead make sure we help get you there because that is awesome.
Thank you.
Man. You put the grind out. That's good. How long have you been on here by chance?
So I started doing my videos in 2018, actually. So it's been year number 4 now. But the last couple of years have been a little bit more gaining steam. I generally live stream now. Do commentary during all of the Vikings games. And I try to do Thursday night, Monday night too, if I can get in there. And then I actually mix astrology and sports together too. So that's kind of.
We got an Eagles fan You should
Sorry,
hook up with what's her name? Philadelphia. Yeah,
Oh,
I've done a live with her, and like she mixes that in. She has her
really?
whole little series on Tom Brady and Gazelle being a
Interesting.
witch and like how that affected
Yes.
Tom Brady's success. You
Yep.
definitely need to tune in with her. Shout out, hey, you
Yeah.
know, Philadelphia. If you're watching,
I'm
go.
gonna
You got
write
to
it
do the
down
collab. You need it.
because
You got to.
honestly, I don't really see a lot of other people combining sports and astrology.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then I talk a little bit like celeb gossip mix in there. But before all my live streams, I actually do what's called planetary pregame. So I look at what the planets are doing.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then you can see. I'm still learning. I say I'm a lifelong astrology student, but
All right.
you can see what the planets are doing at the time of the game to see who the winner is going to be. So I do planetary pregame.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell you to, break it down a little bit more, but we're not giving away her secrets of how she do it on the show. You know what I'm saying?
if
That
you
is
want,
something.
if you want
If
the
you want to
secrets,
watch, subscribe, hit the subscribe button.
exactly.
I
Yeah, just tune
definitely
into
watch
the
that. I've
stream.
watched you talk about the Minnesota. I've not watched one of those shows. So I'm definitely behind the eight ball on that. I'm definitely going to check that out. That
Yeah,
sounds
definitely
awesome.
come check it out. I
Awesome.
usually do it about a half hour before kickoff. So I look at and I actually peeked at the chart for Monday night's game. I'm gonna look at it a little bit more, but I gotta say it looks pretty good for the Eagles.
Oh, I like it already. Yeah, astrology, you know why? Because it's just left Leo Nation. I'm a
I was
Leo,
just gonna
so
ask you what's your
I'm
sun
a
sign? Are
Leo.
you a
I'm a
Leo?
Leo. I love being a Leo. I have
Oh
everything. I got
yes,
my Leo the Lion necklace on. I got a big glass Leo line in my living room, man.
love it.
I
That's
love
very
being.
Leo of you,
It's
but I
very
like it.
Leo of me, and I
Yes.
am a Leo to the full extent. Like that is, if, I don't. I believe in it, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like I don't really go into everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about the Virgos, etc. I just know the Leos are the best. We run the
Yeah,
world.
and that is, I will say that's a very Leo thing to say. And Leo's ruled by the sun.
Yeah,
Of all the planets, you're ruled by the sun. How powerful is that?
that's what I'm
So
saying. I tell people that all the time.
yeah.
Like, don't mess with a Leo.
Do
We
you
run.
know
We're really nice.
do you know what
You
your
know,
rising and your moon sign are? That's kind of like your big three.
it's Virgo. I'm a
Virgo
Leo.
what?
Late. It was. I'm late Leo, early Virgo. So I think that's the rising, right? The one that's
Well,
after
the rising, so your sun sign is like where, like, let's say you were born August 30th. So your sun is in Leo.
August 16th.
What?
Mine is August 16th. So you might
Okay.
probably help me out a little bit more than that.
Yeah, so you're a sun in Leo, but to know like your whole entire birth chart, you need your exact time of birth and then the
Power
location.
number 7. That was my power number. I remember that. I've done this a couple of times before.
Yeah.
But like I just
Yeah.
really stick with being a Leo.
Rising sign, that's
Yeah.
like who you are as a
I think it was
person.
Aquarius.
Oh, really?
One's
Aquarius rising?
Aquarius and one's Virgo. I remember that.
Okay, that would be really funny if you're
But I'm a
actually
Leo.
like a Virgo rising and an Aquarius moon with a Leo sun, because
Yeah.
we don't know. We could always look, but I have an Aquarius moon and a Leo rising. So the fact that we vibe, if we had the same moon sign.
There you go. We're definitely, hey, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about this. We're gonna get it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
like hearing more about it and learning more about it as
Yeah.
it goes along. But like, you know what I'm saying? That's just a Leo man. Every Leo I ever met, what's really funny too is like a
Mhm.
lot of people in my family are Leos. Like a lot. Like the month of August is hot. Like every
Yep.
single day, there's like 1 or 2 birthdays every day of like the month. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy. I love it.
And I
Like
wonder, I would be interested to know what your Mercury is in, because Mercury is our communication planet. So it would be interesting. It's gonna either be in Cancer, Leo, or Virgo for you. And it would be interesting if it's in Virgo, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury and very like analytical, facts, and like good at communicating. So it's just great to look at. I suggest
It's sounding like you're right on board with what's going on here. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to hook up on that.
For sure. Everybody, I suggest you get a birth chart reading. And if you don't know, go into Google, free birth chart. If you know your time, location, and obviously your date, go put it in there. It'll be a rabbit hole.
That's how I figured it out.
Mhm.
I'm not 100% sure because it was a little while ago. That's definitely how I figured it out there. But yeah, back to the game here. Jalen Hurts, you talked a little bit about him. Like, do you think Jalen Hurts is a pro quarterback, or do you think you're on the fence of like most Eagle fans and half the league, where he hasn't done enough to show that he is, that guy?
Honestly, I'm not like super familiar with Jalen Hurts, but I will say every time that I hear something about him or whatever, it's always good. It's always good. And anytime I see him, it's decent. And he's young. It seems like he's got a good attitude. Like, does he have like a good off the field like vibe attitude?
Oh yeah, he's a leader. Like that's the one thing. The intangibles you cannot. I can't think of another quarterback. I know we've never had another quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But his intangibles, like the leadership, the guidance, the will to get better, to want to get better every single chance, the humbleness, even
I love that.
Too. Last year, a couple of games, it wasn't even his fault on certain plays, and they hit him with it in the interview, and he'll just take full responsibility for it, just not to throw his player under the bus. Yeah, I need to get better at that. That was my bad. And I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? They dropped the ball, what I'm saying? Like, you did your part, and I was like, yeah, he's not a closer or whatever. Like, he would have closed if the other person would have did their job and caught the ball, But just to be that kind of leader and just like motivator, I love him, man.
How old is he?
He's 24 or about to be 24. But he's still young, man. This is third year, going into his third year right now.
Okay.
We had Carson Wentz his first year. So he only played sparingly, and then the last 4 games. His last year was his first year starting. And for the first year starting, like I said, like, I don't know how people see things. I don't know what stats they actually look at that makes them decide whether, a quarterback's the guy or not. But when I look at the stat of being Jalen Hurts, the only quarterback ever to play quarterback with 4,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards rushing, 4,000 yards passing in his first 20 games, I'm like, he's doing it both ways. He's running the ball. He's throwing the ball. He's the only one ever with those kind of numbers. So if we can be the only one, and then like all last year, we just kept seeing Jalen Hurts the first quarterback or only quarterback with this. But it's like there's still so much doubt behind his name that it's like, wow, man. Like,
maybe this is the year that he's
the perfect quarterback or something. Like, there's no perfect quarterbacks out there, man.
No, like, there's not. And especially if you have like easier matchups this year too. Never know. It's going to be a big one for both our quarterbacks on Monday night because Kirk does not do well on prime time, and then Jalen Hurts got to prove yourself. So, looking forward to it.
If you're the GM, are you keeping Cousins for the long haul, or you're trying to get rid of him and suit apart? If you're the GM, not reality.
Oh, he would have been gone a long time ago. He would never even come here. Bye. No, we don't want
you. If you can think of the perfect quarterback to throw in that offense, who would it be?
Well, okay. I have been harping on this, and I still say it now. Straight up trade, send Kirk Cousins back to his best friend, Kyle Shanahan, and just send us Jimmy G. I've been saying that. Just do a straight up.
They're like the same person, right?
I think they are very similar, yes. But the one thing that I think Jimmy has that Kirk does not have is that vibe with the other players. Just the off the field, I can vibe with you. We can hang out. And that's another thing too. Kirk didn't get with any of his wide receivers in the offseason. And there's that part of him that I'm just like, you're not all in for the team. You're just not.
Like Carson with us, If we had to force Carson to finally come in one offseason, like, oh yeah, me and the receivers are hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody kept saying, like, he wasn't that guy in the locker room. They didn't feel like they had that connection with him. I mean, football's a team sport. All 53 players plus practice squad got to be locked in together. They got to feel that vibe. You know what I'm saying? I played on a lot of football teams. The ones we were closest, the ones we won the most games on.
Yes.
The ones where we're all kind of individual, offense, defense separated, player for player separation. Those are the ones we lost the most games. So you got to be a unit out there. You got to be
look at the Rams last year, too. That was like Sean McVay hanging out with Matt Stafford, getting along. Look what they did. So.
Yeah. He said, question, BG does a sweet fly Eagles fly dance. Can Jay give us a good skull cap?
Clap.
Clap. What's that?
Grandizer knows how I feel about the skull clap. Are you familiar with this?
No, I have no clue what he's talking about right now.
Okay. So is the fly Eagles fly? Do you all just like do this? Is that like your thing, or what's the thing?
It's more like oh no, mic drop.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Everybody stand by. Stand by.
Stand by, guys.
Stand by. We're gonna well, okay, while you're doing that, I'll explain what the skull clapping is that I am not a fan of. I like our skull chant. We just say skull. We got a skull song. I'm all about it. But I will not do the fans do like a clapping, like so they'll go skull, skull, and then with that they'll clap over their heads, and they all look like a bunch of damn fools. I love them all. I do. I want to help you, but they look like a bunch of seals. So I refuse to do it. It's like
Come
this.
On now.
What?
Fly, Eagles.
Oh, there you go.
You know, I do that in all my videos. I like it. But,
I like it. Yeah.
No, you do that. And see, like, sometimes people like fly, Eagles fly like this, you know. I feel like you got to get all of it. Like, you're an eagle. Yeah. You're high up there. You got to see the full range of motion. Yep.
You got to get the wingspan. You got to use the full wingspan.
Exactly. We at the top, baby.
Yeah.
Up there at the top. We got fly high. We're soaring. We're cruising.
Well, actually, here, I'll show you the skull clap with Gumby. This is what the Vikings fans just do. They go skull, and then they clap over their head. Skull. And I'm like, you look like a bunch of skull seals. I am trying to get all the fans to say it.
Is that
yes. Yeah.
That's what you got to do for real. Is this a real thing?
It's embarrassing. Yes, and isn't it? Okay. Can I just ask you're like an innocent bystander in this. You have a subjective, like, not personal viewpoint. If you look at that, wouldn't you be like, what are y'all doing? What are you doing?
I was wondering what I was doing when I was doing it.
Thank you. And I have been trying to say, as a Vikings fan, again, I love the chant. I love the skull. But let's show them the horns. How about that? How about that? Like, nobody listens to me.
Viking.
I'm trying to help them because I'm like, y'all just look foolish.
Every time you guys blow a horn, right?
Yeah, I like the horn. We got the gala horn, so that's cool. It's just like a big old horn, Vikings horn that they blow before the game, so that's fun. But yeah, then they get the clapping going. And just to keep going on this clapping, that like Kevin O'Connell and Mike Zimmer, like a lot of, especially Kevin O'Connell, new head coach, when they go on like with the talking heads and stuff, they were trying to get Kevin O'Connell to do the skull clap, like, oh, you're with the Vikings. He did it, but he was very hesitant to do it because you look foolish. You do.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah. There we go.
Philadelphia. I know, right? Philadelphia.
Yeah,
that is her. It is in a link, so we can go check her.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Mr.
She just finished a short. I was trying to get her back on. She's getting back into the Eagle content creation of it. Like she took a little break for a while. But she has a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers, and I just know she just got back and she did this whole little like mini series of Tom Brady.
Yeah, because I know with Tom Brady, and I believe Giselle Bündchen. I don't know if she's a witch pagan or astrologer, but I know she's very involved with all of that. So
yeah.
Gemini shout out.
Do you believe in stuff like that? Like, do you think that Giselle really affected his Super Bowl win? Let's ask you that question.
Oh, I totally believe in all of it. Like, as I'm a lifelong astrology student, I believe in so many different things, like so many different, like, gods or whatever. And yeah, I believe in all of it. I mean, on my channel too, I do get we'll talk a little paranormal sometimes, a little UAP, UFOs. So I'm
just watched Net? You ever watched Net Most Wanted?
What?
You ever heard of Net Most Wanted? Have you ever watched it? He's like a truther. He talks about the government. He talks about, paranormal stuff, like reptilians and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I should check it out.
Show on the network, every like 2 weeks. We try to do it every 2 weeks. He's a busy guy, but he's had like 4 channels taken down already from YouTube. Over 100,000.
Oh, nice.
His new following is like at 53,000 or something like that right now. He does a little bit on YouTube, but he also pushes the content to Rumble because you can talk whatever you want over there.
Cool.
Getting violated. So we did a couple shows. I think I've only had one show that's gotten the warning. Because we kind of got deep into it.
Because I know it's a little touchy, on YouTube.
Like, it's your platform. You should be able to say what you want to talk about. If you believe in something, you should believe in it. Like, it's not, you're not forcing nobody to say what you say is gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to believe anything that comes out of your mouth. So I don't know why they do that. But
I don't either. And I know that they don't.
They definitely did it though.
Yeah, they'll do that. And like I used to work in well, I won't even, but like peace and love, I worked in that industry for like many years,
Right.
and like I wouldn't even really talk about that. Like people wanted to, but I'm like, nope, it doesn't. YouTube doesn't like that. And even when I do a little talk paranormal, a little like tinfoil hat, then I'm even like, well, we got to be careful. They might be, whoever they are, they might be listening.
Yeah, they do listen.
Yeah,
man, I remember the one stream me and Ned was doing, right? We're in the middle at night. Like he's that guy, like he knows like what he can and cannot say because he's been doing this for years, and I'm still new to the game, what I'm saying? I'm gonna say whatever I want. That's the reason why I made the channel over there. That's the reason why I'm putting it out there, and then we get it going, man. And then I'm going off. That's my whole volume went out. Like what? Hello. Reset everything. Nothing couldn't get back into my own show for a while. Lucky I had a co-host. They were still talking and whatnot.
So if we get shut down right now, we're gonna know.
Yeah, they will shut you down quick. We ain't said nothing about them right now.
I know.
We'll keep that for another show, and maybe one of the times we get Ned on, we'll bring you on there as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I try to get more people to do cross. Like I like it. Like for real. Like I started out Eagles content creator. But I love the platform in general. I can talk about whatever I want. Like, it's more about life than just sports. I mean, it's more about, other things that I fully believe in. Like you were saying, we're all our own gods. For me, I believe we're all gods. We understand there's a whole level of understanding.
And I like learning about all the other different, like, cultures, avenues, religions. Like, I mean, it's a great platform to just learn from other people, too. I'm interested in, like, everything. I want to know, like, about it all.
Yeah, learn it all. You only get one of these lives. So I say learn as much as possible. And that's what we're here to do: learn and grow, and enjoy it. Besides just sports, and I love sports. I love football. I'm a diehard fan. I love all levels of it. I love high school football. Whenever I go back to my hometown,
and sports is a great way to bring people. Have a common ground just to start from there, and then you can just like branch off into like whatever too, which is also great.
I seen a link to Jade. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Nice.
I got a mystic.
Oh. What kind of crystals? I like the crystals too. I'm into it all.
Right.
Maybe some like amethyst or something like that. Oh, hey Asia. What's up, Georgie?
You do that with the. What's your jewel sign? What did I say? Did you say what sign you were?
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm a sun in Capricorn. So my birthday is at the end of December. Capricorn, I'm the GOAT. Greatest of all time.
Capricorns, I have some history with the Capricorn.
That is so funny.
When you're a Leo, I think everybody just kind of get history with
That's true. I will say, though, something that I've learned about Leos and Capricorns specifically, very good relationship because they're both like royal in power. So a good example I like to give is Kevin Costner and Dolly Parton and Whitney Houston. Capricorn and Leo making stuff happen with The Bodyguard, and also Barack and Michelle Obama, Leo Capricorn couple.
Madonna, same birthday.
Oh, there you go, Madonna.
Boom, the best president we had.
Love it. Yeah, there you go.
Just throwing it out there. Leo's rule the world, like I said.
Oh, Leos are the entertainers of the Zodiac, ruled by the sun. Everybody's always drawn to y'all. You're very powerful, being ruled by the sun.
Is that score prediction for the game?
Ooh.
What is your respective players of the game?
Ooh. Oh man, I don't score prediction. I need to look at the chart more, Grandizer. You know that. But let's see here.
Don't give your official.
Sure.
You guys do your research. You guys still do your thing. Give them something
I'm nervous about this one for the Vikings, honestly. I want them to win. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I do. But I want them to prove it to me. I think they might lose. Let's say like 24-21. I hope the Vikings win, but I have a feeling they might not. But I'll be purple positivity right now. So my loose prediction, 24-21 Vikings, but I don't feel confident.
24-21 Vikings. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't give me your player of the game.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. I was like, what do you got? What do you got? I will say if the Vikings do win, one of the players of the game very well could be none other than Robot Boy, Bubble Boy, Kirk Cousins himself.
Ooh.
I think if he can hang, he can hang.
And if he wins, it's probably because Kurt's lighting it up.
Yes.
With our soft defense that we like to play.
If he cannot buckle under pressure and cower like a frightened little turtle, like he often does, I will be impressed.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll start out with the player of the game. I'm going to say this week 1, it was A.J. Brown. For our team. He was our week 1 player of the game. I'm going to go the opposite. I love to see what Miles Sanders did with the 13 carries and 96 yards. I'm going to say Miles Sanders, player of the game, because everybody's going to be focused on, how do you stop AJ? How do you stop Quez and Devontae and Goddard? All these passing threats. I think it's going to be easy peasy for Miles Sanders again to go out there and have a big game. But I think he's going to break 100 this time.
All right.
One touchdown. That's the way I think we're going to win this game. It's not going
to be one to watch. Have to keep my peepers peeled.
And then the score prediction.
Yeah, what do you got? That threw me off. I wasn't prepared, even though I should have been, obviously, but I wasn't prepared for that one.
They beat Green Bay. I feel like we had a little bit better defense.
I mean, maybe it should have been more points. I mean, hell, you all scored 38.
I feel like we could have scored more, too.
Oh, man.
I think that our offense was kind of vanilla some of that game, too.
I think our defense is. I don't know though. Our defense looked pretty good though. We held the evil to 7. I don't know. What do you think? What do you got?
He said 42-38. Eagles. I like that too. But if we gave up, if we got back-to-back weeks of giving up 30 points, I don't care what people are saying about Gannon and how the team needs to, all the players need to step up and make the tackles. But if we get 2 back-to-back 30-point games, I'm gonna be mad at Gannon. It's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna say 31-21 Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Nice
I can
10-point lead. It maybe be closer to Jalen Hurts does some miraculous thing, or Miles Sanders does a nice long run that cap off the game with a 10-point win, but not enough time left to get 10 points.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned that. I like it because when I was looking at the game chart, the astrological chart for the game, I was actually seeing possibly the points are really hard to get. The points are really hard to get from the chart, but 8 to 9 point loss for the Vikings. So it's crazy that you said 10.
See, I told you, Leo, no, baby, we know. We know it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, you're in tune.
Win it. But it's nothing to take away. If a lot of Eagles fans, we have to pull out when losses. When I think I did the schedule release thing, a couple of shows in a row, and it's the losses were different every single show because I don't know which 4 losses. I really think we can beat everybody. So I can totally get it if we did lose this game too, because there is a high.
One of your 3 losses, right, that you got going?
Yeah, it could be possible. That it is the Vikings. They got one of the best receiving corps in the league.
What scares you the most for the Vikings? Would it be Justin Jefferson? As Eagles fans, what scares you the most?
I'm more Cook than Jefferson.
Really?
I worry more about Cook because good running backs, if they get off, we gave up a lot of rushing yards against Swift last week.
That's true.
He was up over 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? He was running all over us. So,
and that could be crucial maybe for the Vikings getting a victory, because our running backs, that's actually where we have some depth. So, yeah, if we can get the run going, that might be something.
Yeah, that could be a huge problem because I think the receivers going to the receiver play kind of, avoid each other out because I think your receivers are great. I think we got some great receivers too.
Does Kirk scare you though? I feel like nobody ever can get intimidated.
I'm scared of Kirk Cousins now. I've never been scared. When he was in Washington, I wasn't scared.
Right.
Yeah, even when he beat us,
I wasn't scared.
You're wow, you let Kirk beat you? Come on now,
Okay, and then can I just share with you a little something that I heard an hour before we came on?
Yeah,
I don't know if you are familiar, because obviously we see quarterbacks, what they're wearing before the games, we get to see all that. And Kirk kind of wears little button up, shirts, nothing wrong with it. But he full on admitted that his wife picks out all of his clothes. All of them. I'm just like,
what?
Okay.
Is this wife a witch too?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so
I
at
think
all.
that'd be interesting to even find out how many players' wives are witches.
Well, I think too that's why he who shall not be named, the Green Bay Packers quarterback, I think that's why he's dating like a woman named like Blue of Earth. I believe she's a witch, and I think he's kind of taken a page out of Tom Brady's book.
Whoa! Yeah. Dropping jewels on the show. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, he's got a tattoo.
I heard Tom Diggs they're splitting up, right?
What?
Selling Tom, they're splitting up, right?
What's
I
up?
think I heard that Tom and his wife are splitting up.
Oh yeah, that's the rumor. That's a rumor on the street that they're not getting along. I think
ain't winning enough Super Bowls lately, girl. You ain't doing your thing.
Yeah, I think she's probably like, dude, it's enough is enough already. Well, the rumor I heard was that she was upset because he said he was retiring, and then a couple weeks later, was like, yeah, actually, I changed my mind. So allegedly,
more family time. Come on, Tom. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what she said, though. Like their kids are getting a little bit older now, So she's like, "Hey, I want you." Allegedly, supposedly, rumor on the street. Who knows what's true? But
we don't ever really know.
Yeah. Yep, it's all speculation.
All speculation. You said Eagles are favorite 1.5 points.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
That you guys are now it making me think, like, because ever since last week, and I have this another theory that I don't like saying really live because it's just like it kind of will take away the whole effect of the whole being a fan. You know what I'm saying? I think you know where I'm going with this. Like Eagles last week, 3 points with the Lions, or 4 points spread with the Lions. We win by 3.
Was it 4 points?
I just say the Vegas.
Did the Lions ever have a lead in the game last week?
The first quarter they did. They were up.
They did. Okay. But not after that.
Yeah. So it's like, I kind of feel like I can put this 10-point spread, right? But then it's like when you hear like the Vegas odds and stuff like that, it's weird how games kind of simulate themselves around those numbers.
Right. Or tinfoil hat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Put the tinfoil hat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like now that makes me scared to even know that it's 1.5 points. Like if putting a half there even makes it more suspicious. Yeah. Now you're like, okay, is it really going to come down to 1 point? I
wonder if Vegas has an astrologer. They should.
Ooh, I think they got everything because they don't ever lose.
That's
House
true.
Don't lose really, so it's like whatever they're putting out there, they're trying to give you a tip.
Oh, I mean, like when the point spreads, the odds number, the people that.
It's really like there's no. I don't care what you say. Like football is such a any given Sunday type or any given game you're playing type sport. How do you even know the point spread? You know what I'm saying? How is it that accurate? You know what I'm saying? Right. Every single week with like.
And then too, what was it? Last year, was it the year before? Well, obviously, Tom Brady going to Tampa, and then they just happened to win the Super Bowl after that.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. And even I go back to the Chunky Soup Campbell.
To what?
Donovan Knapp selling the soul to Chunky Soup.
Oh,
like you're in the Super Bowl.
Viking too, Donovan.
But they were trying to make it a dynasty in New England, the 3 Super Bowls in a row. And then T.O. came to the Eagles. We made it to the Super Bowl. He had the game of his life. We're destroying them. And all of a sudden, Donnie gets sick in the 4th quarter. I'll leave it to the fans to decide what happened. But you guys know what I think about that.
Right. Again, tinfoil hat time.
Do you think the game over under 50.5 points?
Oh, over under 50.5. I'm probably going to just say under. Probably under, just because the Vikings, but I could see it going over. I could see it being like a quote-unquote shootout, but Philly is so hard to play. It's loud. The fans are intense. They're not going to stop, and I know our quarterback, the Vikings quarterback, he doesn't do well with that.
That is our confidence right there is Kirk Cousins. For real.
What's that?
Kirk always does what Kirk does in prime time, and that is the faith that I have to Eagles. Kirk will be Kirk.
You can count on that.
And hopefully we can get that one out there. But you guys let us know what do you guys think the score will be if they're gonna make the over under or the point spread is gonna make whatever you guys want. Make sure you guys leave it in the chat for us. So.
Yeah. Oh, King BB Sports Weekend, talking a little bit about that. Cool. Yeah. I like hearing about it all. I like it all. It's cool.
Oh, you did your reading?
That's Battle Act. Oh, hey, Nkanu 49. What's up?
Nice. They need the Lions to beat the Commanders. Yeah. That'll make it seem a lot better, right?
Yeah. I honestly, I think the Lions are going to be the sleeper in the NFC North. I was surprised, though. Were you surprised, too, by Chicago 49ers? Yeah. By that game?
Didn't the Niners lose?
They lost. Yeah, Chicago beat them.
The Bears?
Yeah, the
That's
Bears.
Crazy.
Nobody's talking about the Bears. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I was on with a few 49ers fans a few weeks ago, and because the Vikings played them in preseason and they had joint practice, and I was like, you all probably aren't worried about week 1. It seems like you got it in the bag. Even I thought they had it in the bag, and then nope. Purple Pocket Podcast. What up?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, he's a great dude over there. Making great stuff. Yep. We should all do a collab sometime. The three of us.
If you guys want, I love doing it on the pregame show. I don't know how many of you guys do your own pregame show, but we do Eagles Live and Lit pregame show. And if you guys want to we can do a roundtable pregame show.
That would be so fun. Yeah, Purple Rap with Purple Pocket Podcast. Good dude over there.
Yeah, get a bunch of us together and just get you guys the little Vikings crew. We get our Eagles crew. We go at it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I should get a couple. I would say just doing roundtables are always fun. So it's nice to get a few other teams, everybody in the mix.
So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna work on this, Jay.
Yeah.
What's the day? Today's Tuesday, so we got 4 days. Figure this out how we're gonna get it done, but we're gonna try to give you guys that. That'd be something.
Yeah, or even in the future too. That'd be cool. Just to chat, mid-season chat or something. Yeah, Purple Gang, love it.
Purple Gang, yeah.
Oh, Minnesota Sports Talk. What's up, Dave? Minnesota Sports Talk in the chat too. What's up, Dave?
There you go, right there.
Content creator. If y'all haven't checked out Purple Pocket Podcast, Minnesota Sports Talk, get over there and do it. Go check them out.
Yes, definitely trying to get all these guys on the show, this week. So
that'd be tight.
Check your DMs because I'll be in there.
Check your DMs.
Yeah, so give me 3 hot takes for the game. Give me 3 hot takes. Give me your 3
for the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going back again. They got the whole entire team. You have to get on your big boy pants. It's like adult diapers. Depends time here. No more Pampers. You're playing in Philly. It's going to be tough. The crowd's going to be loud. They might throw beer at you. They might yell curse words at you. Kirk, you got to be ready for that. You got to put your earmuffs on. Put them on, dude. I hope the defense can show up again, too. It would be great to hold you all to 7 points or under 20.
That'd be a horrible game if that's the case. That's a hot take. I like it, though. I like it.
Angry Philly fans here. And then what's my third one? I think too, just going back to the running game. I think everybody's been talking about Justin Jefferson, wide receivers. Hey, that's important, but let's remember to run the ball too. Even though it's funny hearing myself say that because I have been so quit running the ball on every play. But I liked the mix of throwing the ball and running the ball from week 1. And we haven't really seen a lot of that in the last couple of years. So I hope that also continues. And I'm waiting for I don't know. Isn't Philadelphia the only stadium that has a jail or a drunk tank or whatever?
The old stadium,
what's that?
I don't know if the new stadium, I know the old stadium did have a jail in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the first beer can to be chucked or something, I'm just expecting be ready. I'm sure that they will be, but I've just heard stories, especially of the NFC divisional game of fans, the beer cans, the slander, all that stuff. But hopefully it'll be a good game.
Jinx says hot take. AJ Brown, 134 touchdowns.
Jinx coming in with
I like it.
Touchdowns.
But is that such a hot take after week 1, Jinx? That'd be the question.
Hey, I think
that's last yards, a couple more touchdowns.
That might happen because the Vikings, the secondary, a little long in the tooth, and a little young in
Peterson. I actually wanted Peterson to come to Philly.
What's up?
We're looking for that second corner. I was like, Patrick Peterson, be a good guy.
Yeah.
I like his last name.
I like Patrick Peterson too, but I do like him. But I mean, he is lucky that Watson dropped that ball. It would have been a complete different game, I think, week 1. But he didn't. Yeah.
3 hot takes for the Eagles will be.
Yes.
Slay shuts out Jefferson.
Oh,
shuts him down. Whoa. I mean, if Jefferson does not get over 50 yards this game. Hot take.
That is a very hot take. Yeah.
That's my hot take. That's one of them.
Yes.
2 would be last week we got ran all over for like 140, 150 some yards. We rotate. Jordan Davis plays 50% of the snaps instead of, the small percent he played last week. And shut the run game down. Cooks gets no more than 50 yards. I'm going to give that. That would be my mark. 50 yards passing, 50 yards receiving.
Yeah, that would be shut out for sure.
So that's another hot take.
Kirk, where are you going to go then?
Jaylen Hurts. I know he threw for almost 250 last game. Almost
really?
Rushing. Yeah. 1 touchdown rushing. So this game, he's going to go for over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. 300 yards, 4 touchdowns passing, and only 50 yards rushing for the game.
Holy Hannah. So basically, he's going to do like what Michael Irvin said that Kirk was going to do, throwing 8 touchdowns. So Jalen Hurts is basically going to do that this week.
Yeah. He's going to show you guys that first passing – he didn't get no passing touchdown, so it's like people are like, oh, you did a good game, but where's the passing touchdown? He left that shadow of a doubt, still in Eagle fans' heart.
You're making me nervous now about, especially with the Vikings secondary.
AJ, here you go. Because people don't realize AJ's been the receiver we've been needing over the last 6 years, 7 years even. You can go probably farther than that. Like he's that guy that you can just throw in his facility. He's what make good quarterbacks great. Receivers like AJ. Receivers like, Diggs, receivers like Jefferson, receivers like, all those great receivers that are out there, Chase. These guys, people think it's just a quarterback to get them the ball. Like, a lot of times, those passes aren't even accurate. I've seen a lot of Aaron Rodgers passes to, Devontae Adams that were not the best passes, but Adams is such an athlete. He's such a competitor that he goes and go grab it. And, you seen last week even with AJ, like, he threw the ball in some tight windows.
We get that with Jefferson, too. Yeah. Yep.
Which is tight coverage, tight windows, like balls, and it's like they go get it. They make sure that they're the receivers that's catching that ball.
It's amazing when basically the quarterback can just throw it in their vicinity and they will get it. It's just like, whoa, yep, it's impressive.
So those are definitely my 3 hot takes.
I like it.
Keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can just keep this train going, get better every day. And Monday being one of the days we get better. We keep going for that championship this year. So
another one with the Vikings. We're still waiting for one. Damn it!
It took us a long time to wait for this one.
And then you had to win one in Minneapolis too,
right? Yeah. And you guys had a heartbreaker out of that one too that year.
Seriously, yep.
That was a heartbreaking.
My heart will go on. My heart will go on there. Okay.
Do you think the Vikings over the next 5 years win a Super Bowl?
I'm actually going back to astrology on this one. I was looking at the Vikings game chart. I think in in the next, what are we in now? 20. I want to say 2024, maybe 2025, a couple years. But I don't know.
After Kirk is gone, right?
Yeah. When Kirk's gone. Because like I said earlier, the Vikings never won in a Super Bowl with Pizza Boy, as I call him, under center. Prove me wrong, though, dude. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I keep saying it. I don't like to be proved wrong. But if the Vikings end up winning the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins under center, I will eat it. But I want to be proven wrong here.
So if you say they don't win the Super Bowl, you said, what did you say they're going to win 8 games?
Thanks, Rap. Appreciate you. What's up?
You said they're going to win 8 or 9 games, right?
Yeah, I have them going. I got the Vikings going 9-8 this year. I got them going 9-8.
So that's playoffs, right?
No.
7 seed?
Well, maybe wild card, perhaps. I think if they would get to 10 wins, I don't know, though, with the division. Chicago just won. Everybody counted them out, and everybody was saying,
that's week 1 vibes. Like, people got to realize that, too. A lot of upsets happen in week 1. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I thought we were about to get upset. And I said, to be honest, when I was saying, I was like, one of the upsets could be for week 1 against the Lions. You know, because you seen how sorry they were last year. They got a lot better this year. The defense got better. The offensive line got better. You know, like that could be that sleeper team that we think we're just gonna go slap. You know, they slapped us right back.
I think they are the sleeper team in the NFC North. Plus, they were on Hard Knocks. Yeah, no.
So, you know, it could possibly happen. It could go that way. Hopefully, it doesn't. You know, I want the Eagles to keep going. You know, like I said, 17-0 until proven otherwise. But hey, it was a great collab, man. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree.
We gotta do some more work together and let's have some fun with the season. So let's go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at on all your social media platforms. Her link's inside the chat, so make sure you go hit her up. She is on her way to 1K. Make sure you help her get there. Get her a little bit closer. Share the video out to other people. If you got the share button, hit the share button. You know, get it out to other Eagles fans, other Vikings fans, other NFL fans in general. We can help support these, you know, great content creators as we grow. You know.
Yeah, and we got a lot in the chat tonight too. I think we're all hanging, so it's great. But yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it. Even though we're kind of arch nemesis at Vikings, Eagles at this point.
We're football fans, so that keeps us joined together.
Exactly. Yeah. But I appreciate being on. It's been fun. Hopefully we can do it again. But you can mainly find me on YouTube. I have Sports and Stars with Jade. That's my sports, astrology, I do a little celeb talk, tinfoil hat over there. I have a second YouTube channel. If anybody also is interested, I do tarot card readings, tarot with Jade. And then on Twitter, you can find me on Twitter. I am at a hip lady on Twitter. So
I like that. Where you get that name from? I didn't notice that when I was trying to find you at first.
Okay. Do you know the reference actually? Do you know it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny. It's actually a reference from the movie Can't Hardly Wait. And they're talking about Martha Washington, whatever. They're like, she was a hip lady, man. And I don't know. I liked it. I love that movie. It's so funny. So I don't know. I just had.
I do love that movie, Can't Hardly Wait. That was a good movie. I do like it.
Yeah, great movie. So anybody that gets the reference too, I'm like, ooh, you got it. I like it. So.
See, I was thinking it was more towards line like hippie. You know,
that too. Yeah, it all works.
Like hip lady, like you know, I'm a hippie lady. Here we go. You're fine.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Positive energy, those good energy going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that too. So either way works out.
Either way.
But hey, yeah, make sure you guys hit that like on the way out. You know, like I always say at the end of my videos, fly, Eagles, fly. Till next time, we got a showdown in Philly versus the Vikings. Jay's going to be watching. BG's going to be watching. We'll see who's closer.
Yep.
You guys have a great night. Come see us again. We out.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
Night.